Good.
Hola.
Hola. Today it would be really great if we can talk about the mind.
Yeah.
I'd really like to talk about, there's so many things. I guess in my own practice, and the more that we've been talking together and the more that I've been playing or just experimenting in my own life, but then also with my clients, encouraging them to do the same and it's almost when trying to initiate a felt experience or encouraging that, and then you see the mind sort of click in and be like, oh no, that's stupid, or that's this, or that's that, and it just makes me wonder, will the mind ever be satisfied? Is it, will like, does it ever just calm down? Or how can we make it an ally instead of an enemy, and everything in between?
Very good. That's a good point of inquiry. We, as a human race, haven't quite come to understanding that mind can be brought back into mastery. We have been, in most cases, mastered by mind, not master of mind. And we are collectively seeing a great disturbance in that mental field of health that is really rearing its head. And I feel like that's a very significant indicator that now is a time for these sorts of teachings and these points of inquiry to really be brought to the surface for the masses to really just look at and experiment with, no matter what belief around that or not. We're seeing great disturbance in people's mental attitude and mental health, which tremendously impacts the quality of one's life, one's experience of life. Yes, to answer your question, yes, it can be brought back into check, back into a state of harmonious relationship, instead of one that is disharmonious and causing more havoc and anguish and that unquenchable thirst. That mind just keeps going. And we're constantly chasing that. We're constantly chasing the fulfillment of the desiring mind. And we are momentarily satisfied, but not true satisfaction. The nature of mind is will never be satisfied. And to come to this true clear seeing, one only needs to look at their own mind. One thinks, yes, I'm going to pursue this because it will give me a sense of security or a sense of belonging or a sense of purpose, whatever it may be. One then moves in one's life towards that thing, achieves that goal, but it is short-lived, the sense of satisfaction. It's only momentary, it's fleeting. And just like trying to cup water in one's hands, it very easily slips through the cracks, and the thing you just attained all of a sudden is gone. And then the mind chimes in, I must move towards my next goal, my next project, my next achievement, so I can feel a sense of satisfaction, a joy, happiness, contentment, whatever it may be that one is pursuing. But it is somewhat of a waste of time, because the human being is never getting to that space that they're truly satisfied or content. The mind will not, by its very core nature, ever be content. Mind is somewhat like a storehouse of information, somewhat like a library. It holds a tremendous amount of information that is beneficial for the survival of the human being, and also allows a human being to take certain shortcuts in life. When you have already had experience with something, you know that thing, then you don't need to relearn that thing in order to put it into action or speak on it or whatever it may be. Yeah. But as, let us say, somebody has gone into a library and read everything there is to read, right? One could say I'm a very knowledgeable person, yes. But there is a great difference between knowledge and wisdom. The knowledgeable person is one who has a great accumulation of information, yeah, but doesn't yet have experience. Wisdom is knowledge put into action. The wise man or the wise woman is the one in the world, yeah, actively playing with, engaging with, and experimenting with in lifetime the knowledge they have accumulated, yeah, and putting it into action in the best conscious manner, not doing things unconsciously or reactively, but doing it from a space of great conscious response. I am responding to life. Yeah. But in order to do so, that state of conscious awareness in one's life, the state of mastering one's mind instead of being mastered by one's mind, takes an active participation. Yeah? You need to actively participate. There is at first effort involved. It won't just do it by itself. Just like changing station, radio station. The station will stay broadcasting the same songs if one doesn't change the dial. There is an action that is required, effort that is required to search, yeah, for the next station, and in between there's a few static planes until we find that next clear station of broadcast. And this is what the refinement of the mental body would look like. It's a refining of frequency, yeah. And this helps us understand potentially some points that haven't yet been the dots joined for people. Yeah? One being we hear quite often in conscious conversation, in conscious spiritual circles and spiritual lingo, that state of vibration, raise one's vibration. Yeah, what does this really mean? Yeah, in the way of mastery of mind, what is raising of one's vibration? The raising of vibration is the changing from one station into a higher calibration of broadcasting and streaming. So we're releasing. How this can be done in a practical manner is dropping into greater and greater states of silence, greater states of presence. The more presently aware one is, the higher the vibratory frequency one is holding. The higher the vibratory frequency one is holding, the more expansive the source of information is available. Because if one is in a lower frequency of vibration, mental mind is unchecked. It's here, there, everywhere. Yeah? We're creating through our thought intention, married with feeling. So if our thoughts are like a hose, yeah, a fire hose that has been turned on and nobody's directing it, it's every which way. Yeah, what use is that? Yeah, we're never really hitting the mark. Everything is just all over the shop. And the individual will often demonstrate the distortion of anxiety or depression. Yeah, well, this will manifest because the mind is unchecked. It's not brought back into a state of equilibrium. It's just doing its own thing, and it's also accentuating those more distorted noises in the mind, meaning I don't feel I'm worthy, I need to be concerned about everything under the sun. One is going in and over-analyzing everything, yeah? So the mind is just running, yeah? Yeah, to the worst case, yeah, playing out, I should be worried about this, I should be concerned about this, what if this happens, what if that happens, what if this doesn't happen, what if the... You see? This, yeah, is an oscillation in the mental body. A mental body that is oscillating creates that frazzled effect, which is anxiety. Anxiety is an inability to have the waters calm. There's a tremendous rippling going on. And when somebody is frazzled, one is beside oneself, not really with oneself. And when we are beside ourselves, we tend not to make a clear, decisive decision. We tend to attract that same sort of vibratory energy. If one is frazzling, beside oneself, scattered, inability to regulate, worrying, concerned, filled with fear, like attracts like. That vibration will attract other experiences and environments that mirror your state of being. Yeah?
And then it keeps it true.
Precisely. So what one has the opportunity to do is to step into a different vibratory field. To concentrate and apply oneself with a little more conscious effort. To go, okay, I don't know if this is true, but I'm going to experiment with it. As an individual, I've heard this presence, and we have spoken about presence, these foundational things of how can I arrive here more fully? How can I arrive in this moment, no matter what this moment is presenting? How can I be with it? How can I listen to it? How can I attentively, pay attention? Pay attention. I have to be here. So I have to let go of the distractions of a mind going everywhere and just be here with this conversation, with this engagement, with this action, with this word. I have to watch the quality of the thoughts I am thinking, the quality of the words I am speaking, and the quality of the action I am taking. Really simple, but it takes conscious effort to be there, to watch what's passing through your internal sky. The mind is somewhat like the clouds passing through the vast blue sky. Sometimes a storm arising, just like sometimes tremendous upheaval in the mind, disturbance. But just like the storm passing through the sky, this too shall pass.
It's all temporary.
It's only momentarily there. And it too shall pass, and something else will replace it. More clouds, or maybe no clouds. What we want to start to tune into, that vibration of the vast blue sky. Not what's passing through, but the individual must become the witness, not the thinker. You are not the thinker. You are the witness of thought. But due to people's misunderstanding and misidentification, one identifies by the nature of the thinker. And if the thinker is not in a good place, you
Are joining them.
Exactly, right? You are, in effect, dragged and pushed and pulled by the quality of thought or what's going on in your mind. But if you step a little further out, and become the witness that is just like the vast blue sky, you are the space in between. You are the conscious awareness that is simply observing all phenomena that is arising. Thought, action, word, all arising. Just like storms, clouds, everything passing through the sky, yet the vast blue sky is untouched and untainted. No matter how dark the storm is, it doesn't leave any mark on that sky. It's untouched. Same as a human being. Truly, when one steps into that greatest potentiality, into that greatest state of understanding that you are not the thinker, you are the perceiver, you are the watcher, you are the one who is witnessing all phenomena arising and falling. You yourself never come and never go. You are always omnipresent. Yeah? You are not your thoughts, you are not what has happened to you, and you are not what you have done. Yeah? But due to this misunderstanding, people get involved. The moment they are involved, yeah, they have subscribed to that vibration of experience, and in turn will be caught and entangled in the story that is playing out upon the stage of life. Yeah? What I'm wanting to open and just crack the door for people to explore is that one is not what one thinks one is. One is something far greater and far grander, but must enter into that state of the vast blue sky, even just momentarily, to experientially have an understanding of what I'm speaking about. Otherwise, it will just be intellect.
The knowledge versus wisdom thing. Yeah.
Yes, precisely. Intellect belongs to the library, wisdom belongs to the world and beyond. We want to strive to be the living embodiments of wisdom, to have real lifetime experience.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
So I found, like, well, as you were talking earlier about the library and walking through that knowledge, I kept on getting this picture of somebody walking through the library and then all these books just like flying out, and then almost just picture them in the quiet. And it's interesting when you said earlier, like, you know, we aren't our thoughts, but then also the stage before that in having to take responsibility a little bit of that mastery of the mind, or becoming the witness, or understanding there. And I find if I ever, when I first start talking about this to people, sometimes then if they realize like, oh shit, I'm attracting it in, or like, then they get attached to that story. And I know that we've spoken about this before about non-judgmental, non-critical thinking, but do you just take it back to that when that first realization of like, oh sheesh, I'm doing this to myself. But then they want to get to the sky, but then they're attached to the cloud because, oh my God, I've thought about a storm and now I am the storm, and, you know, those sort of things. Any insight on that human stuckness getting to the blue sky?
Well, that's the fun of it, you know. And we've spoken before, there's such beauty in, let's say, those like preliminary stages. Yeah, it's just, as every good journey goes, we have these different stages. Yeah, we have the preparation for the journey, and then we have the commencement of the journey. Yeah, and along that commencement, they were realizing maybe what we forgot, what we should have brought on that adventure through the mountains. Yeah, but then we adapt and we deal with it, and we continue on. So it's just the journey of, let's say, generally in self mastery. You know? So let's summarize that. The work we are all, in most cases, being called to is self mastery, right? Because if we have self masters in the world, people that are refining themselves to that degree, they cooperate with each other in a much more efficient and effective way. They can access a greater quality and experience of life themselves and offer that to others. They're cultivating a really beautiful field, right? So those preliminary stages of our humanness in those adolescent years, yeah, where a little less maturity is demonstrated, a little less stability is present, is so fundamental, yeah. Self-mastery is just like the progression of one's life from a young child to an elder, yeah. This is a really good way to summarize even the evolution of human consciousness. Yeah, we could blow it out to that really big long-term thing. And for the seers of the world, they have the ability to see the progression of all the civilizations upon Earth. But let's pull it back in a little to the self and realize that one's journey is very similar to that. We go through those early stages, just as a child is learning and needing to make mistakes, yeah, and having those trips and those hang-ups and getting up again and a little bit beaten down, a little up again, and learning as we go, yeah, and this we must be lenient and forgiving towards self. Hence coming back to that neutrality, non-judgmental, non-critical thinking towards self, but just having a good laugh, yeah? To be like, oh wow, yeah, I was subscribing to that thought, and now I'm understanding like attracts like. If I'm holding that fear-based vibration, that everything's going to go to shambles, or there could potentially be this, this, and this, you know, the potential of me playing that out and attracting it is much higher, yeah? But I just needed to realize that, yeah, cool, okay, that's what I was doing. All right, how about I play it in a different way, yeah? How about I play it in a different way and start to be mindful of the thoughts that I'm projecting into this living field, yeah? How can I be more mindful of the words I'm selecting and choosing to speak to other and towards self, yeah? And what are the actions, the necessary actions I'm taking or not taking, yeah? If I can be mindful of these three areas throughout my life, throughout each day, I have a greater opportunity to start strengthening those other muscles that are going to take me into, let's say, those more matured states of operation. Yeah. So we're just first acknowledging where we're at is beautiful, no matter where that is. That this is the progressive movement for all people. We need to look at it in that way and just understand, accept and appreciate. Yeah? Okay, cool. Maybe I haven't been so aware in how I've operated myself before. Maybe I haven't even really brought my own mind back into check for more than a moment. Maybe I did it during a yoga class. Maybe I did it during meditation class. Maybe I did it on that week I was at a retreat. Or maybe I did it for that 10 minutes. For that week I was keen to bring a practice into my home, and then it slipped again. Yeah?
Maybe I've never done it.
Or maybe I've never done it, right? All is well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But we look at the whole thing, that now is a really good time to bring mind back into a state of mastery and not be mastered by mind. To understand that the mind and the desire of the mind, the pursuit of mental things, is constantly going to keep us in a state of distraction. We're never really present, but always distracted, always chasing something that isn't yet here, or dwelling on something that once was. It could have been, it should have been, I would have liked it to be.
If that had happened, this wouldn't have happened, and then I wouldn't be in this position.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Yeah? Even to the point of an aging body. When I was in my 20s, how beautiful my body was, how lucky I was. But now, an inability to accept and be with the present moment, living there, living in past, yeah, again, cultivates a distorted state within the energetics of the human being and can produce, as an effect of that causation, what we call depression. Yeah? I'm depressed about what has happened to me, where I have been, what I could have done, what I should have done, or what someone else should have done and didn't do, how they should have treated me, how I would have liked to be. Living, and dwelling on that, it produces a certain effect. Yeah? Or the individual that is prone to anxiety is often ahead of themselves, anticipating, imagining what isn't yet. Yeah, it could be, it should be, I would like it to be, or maybe it's going to be there.
Or I wouldn't like it to be.
Exactly, right? Running off ahead of themselves, again as a distraction, creates a frazzled state. The individual that can be here and just watch, be present, be silent, be observant, yeah? Watching what passes through my mind And remembering, I am not that which passes through. I am the vast blue sky. Just like I am not the clouds passing through here and the storm, everything that passes shall to move on, move on. I am that which is always there. I am that which is unchanging. Yeah. So remembering that simple foundational understanding, I'm able to detach a little, to be less involved, and the less involved I am doesn't mean I'm just this absent person. It just means I'm not unhealthy in my entanglement life. Yeah, I'm choosing a different vibratory field, yeah, which offers the experience of greater harmony, yeah, a greater experience of harmony and ease and grace and serenity. Yeah. And this state, when we start to turn that vision back inwardly, when we can be less pulled and pushed by the happening of the mind and be less involved in even having that internal conversation with yourself. Your inner dialogue is most of people's internal noise. They're just having a conversation and commenting on everything they're seeing, yeah, to themselves. Like, shh, just shh, be quiet. Right? Stop talking to yourself. Stop running ahead of yourself. Stop dwelling on what has been. Just arrive here. Right? This starts to cultivate what we're talking about, the mastery of mind. When I can bring my mind back into check and stabilize it. It may run off again, yeah, because that's what you've trained it to do. It's been the dog that has never been brought back home. It just runs every which way. But when it's brought back time and time again, it goes, oh, okay. Even that unconscious, subconscious part of yourself goes, this is where I'm required. So I'm going to be here. There's something here. You keep bringing me back, keep bringing me back. Yeah? So when one starts to arrive more fully here, mind is less in the driver's seat and you are reclaiming your sovereignty again. Yeah? I am in control of this vehicle. Yeah? I can then use my thought with intent. I think with intent. What do I want to create? What do I want to drive? What do I want to put this life force energy into? Instead of it just being everywhere, what can I drive it to? With purpose, with intention, with heart, and energy behind it. Yeah? Just like I draw the arrow on my bow. I don't just close my eyes and let go. I direct my vision with intent. Yeah? I breathe and I won't let go of that until all feels in the right space. And that moment comes and it's effortless. Any waver in my muscle, I'll lose where it's going to fly and hit that bullseye. Yeah? I need to surrender to that process, to my breath. Be in sync, body, mind, and spirit. In sync. Sync. In sync. Yeah?
You
And
said
this
sync
is
twice, so that's good. Well, cut that. Good.
good. And we get the knock on the head. Right? In sync, in sync. Life always has a way of reminding us, come back to sync, come back to sync. And it's also available to show us when we're out of sync. Things don't flow. There's this meeting of resistance. It's very clear and we know, yet we push.
Pushing shit uphill.
We push and we push and we push. Why is it not happening? But deep down, if we answer that question, we already know. It's because I'm out of sync. I'm not actually in a balanced state. My mind is rampant. I've got all of this undealt with emotion. I'm not listening to my body. One knows, right? We say these are great teachings, but they're not. They're not teaching at all. You already know. Yeah? Teaching implies bringing new information to the table.
Just reminding.
This is reminding. Yeah, what we need right now is reminders.
Post-it notes everywhere.
Yeah, and that's what's welcomes in that thread of great humility, is that we're in it together. Let's navigate it and cooperate and coordinate with each other and bring our intelligence and our flow and our creativity to tend to what really needs to be tended to encourage each other, to fan the fire of the heart, yeah? To sit silently, to encourage deep listening, yeah? To remind each other of our innate ability to be masters here on earth, yeah? And then we can create some tremendous beauty together. Then we move together, synchronized as one body, heart, and mind. Yeah?
Makes me dance.
Yeah? It ignites the soul. It ignites that spirit that says, yes, this is why we're here. Right? And everything is a little sharper, everything is a little more colorful, everything is a little more rich, everything feels, your one is more sensitive. When we can get rid of all of this noise, yeah, incrementally, yeah, again, just like the progression of child to elder, time is required, patience, 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 patience. This can't be learned overnight, or this can't be remembered overnight. It is a unfolding, yeah, just like the blooming and the blossoming of the rose flower. It is there, dormant and waiting, growing in energy, growing with time, and nurtured by the earth, driving towards the light of the sun, waiting for that perfect time to be plump enough, ready enough to open its first petals. And then over the coming days, slowly unraveling, 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 releasing its fragrance into the world, demonstrating and manifesting its true innate beauty. So is the journey of the human being. No need to rush. In fact, one is wasting one's energy if one is trying to rush, because when the time is ready to bloom and blossom, the time will surely be there, and it will happen. So we just do what we can. If we are in the right place, here, now. If we are in check, watching and observing, becoming the witness of mind, and less involved with the thinker, just watching what passes through. Checking what is here, what is stored in this body, what emotion have I not dealt with, what am I denying myself or other. Just looking, non-judgmental, non-critical, just observing. How can I flow with that? How can I let it go? How can I release the tension within my mind, my body, and my emotional field, so I may be in a more harmonious state of resonance? In that resonance, yeah, I find clarity. In clarity, all is beautiful and all is welcome. In that state, the saying goes, I am in the world, yet not of the world. I am in the world, here with you, creating with you, living just like every ordinary human being. But I am not of the world, meaning I am not pushed and pulled by the world. If things do not happen, all good. If things do happen, all good. Same, same. If I am confronted with challenge, good, I step up to the challenge. If I am presented with ease, all good. I am not choosing one over the other. I am not denying this and accepting this. I am with whatever is there. And if I am in harmony, it is more than likely I will create a harmonious field of experience. My engagement with others will create greater harmony. What I attract will be more harmonious. Everything is here to benefit and to serve the development and the evolution of my experience here in this worldly vehicle. Yeah? And this is the only thing that goes with me. That experience, that blossoming of knowledge into wisdom, the wisdom of my soul, is the only thing that moves with me. Everything else I leave behind. Everything I achieved, everything I accumulated, yeah, my titles, yeah, everything is left behind but that one thing. And this is why it has always been of great importance in the great spiritual traditions of the world, in the great wisdom teachings, the ageless wisdom. Meditation, self-mastery, self-inquiry, silence has been enforced always, because it is the door that unlocks, yeah, the revelation of your true nature. And when one experientially knows that, not intellectually or conceptually, but experientially moves into sync with that thing, with that spirit, with that emanating force that animates you and animates all things, one starts to see through the eyes of unity. They see the togetherness. And if one experiences that, one doesn't need to fill any void. There is nothing unfulfilled.
With the sky watching it all.
It's all there. It's all there. There's nothing missing. And you see, you were paying attention to all of the little things before, and you saw there's disharmony here and havoc here, and what's going on about about this, whatever. But you're looking too closely at the little things. When you become the sky, you see everything is complementary. Just like if you zoomed in, yeah, to the inner workings of this human vehicle, you would see there are cells attacking other cells. There are things that look to be on a surface level disharmonious, just like we look at the human race. And we say, but there's war here and disharmony here and hatred here and discrimination here and this and this and this, and we're screwed. You would say the same thing if you looked at your own inner makeup. You would say, my body is destroying itself. No, zoom out a little further and you see it's complementing. That there is a necessity for certain things, but if one doesn't have the right state of perception, one gets trapped in it. It encloses itself around you. And people get stuck in the distortion of their own mind, or in there's the problem, we need to fix it, and we're all doomed, and just subscribe to that. They become it. They feed into it. But we need to become that sky that looks at it all and says, everything is complementing everything else. The dark and the light perfectly balancing each other out. The yin and the yang, the coming and the going, the ebbing and the flowing. As above, so below, as within, so without. There is a harmony in all things, but nobody notices it because they're too noisy.
I'm thinking about it.
Right? Life is not a problem to be solved, but the mystery to be lived. One will never figure this out, that riddle of life, by trying intellectually to figure it out. One must transcend mind. The mind is inadequate, has inadequate apparatus, intelligence to understand the incomprehensible vastness of the cosmic vision. Only the seer understands. The individual who has brought mind back into check creates and cultivates time and time again more spaciousness. Meet me in the middle where silence reigns supreme. Meet me in the middle where silence reigns supreme. Meet me in the middle where silence reigns supreme. In that silence, all things lock back into place. Body relaxed, content, vibrant, and alive, with the spirit of life streaming. Emotions, orders of your emotional being, clear and pure and free, like a pure river running, untainted and untouched, a reflecting beauty, depth, richness, and the vastness of life, a great sensitivity, and the mind in a state of meditative awareness, restful yet aware, not concentrated with a fixed tension, relaxed awareness, attentive and aware, yet relaxed. And then we have the lower three bodies in a state of harmony. The doors open to the experience of the mystery, because you are finally receptive, clear, and present enough to receive what was always yours. Unsubscribing from disharmony and moving back into the unity field of harmony, where such beauty reigns supreme. If one follows those threads of remembering, one puts oneself in the right place to keep in check your thought, to keep in check the words you are choosing to speak, in check with the actions one's taking, looking in, inquiring nature of mind, how to be the vast witness of it all and not subscribe to the storms passing and going, chasing desire after desire, yet always unsatisfied, unquenchable thirst of the egoic desiring body. Instead, I find the space in the middle, the place in between where silence reigns supreme. There I rest, I take refuge, and it all becomes so clear. It is there that I was always looking to arrive. It was there. Home was calling. Serenity, peace, unimaginable peace, where my body and my soul feel like they can truly let go and be held by the totality of it all. There's the sweet spot. Let's go there. Let's make effort to go there. And effort is only required at first. Then the effort becomes the effortless, and no effort is required. Just in your unlearning. And Buddha was asked once, what is it that you learned from all of these years in meditation? And he said, it was not a learning but an unlearning. Meditation offers you the opportunity to unlearn, to undo all the things that keep you tethered, and once again become untethered. so I can be in the world, yet not of the world. I can enjoy this earthly incarnation and experience, but I don't belong to the push and the pull of it all. I shall continue on. So my work is always inward. My work is inward and reflects as service to all, love to all, and the sharing of my creative intelligence to all. And there it is. So simple, but challenging. So let's rise to the challenge. Let's apply ourselves like we never have before. Not just for a little while. Keep it there. Let it keep coming back in.
Let the reminders remind you.
Yes, life is reminding you. If your intent is, I wish to keep being reminded how to come back to that witness, how to bring greater mastery of mind and not be mastered by mind, life will send you messengers through people and omens and things everywhere communicating. Life is intelligent. It is listening to you. Always listening. It's you not listening to it.
Tap on the door.
Knock on the head.
Yeah.
You listening? Thank you, thank you. Yeah. Instead of then being frustrated at the thing that come and knocked on your head, right? We say, thank you, thank you. Okay, good. Let's go. Right? Smile on one's face, inwardly smiling, outwardly smiling. Yeah. Excitement. Okay, good. We continue the journey. Yeah. And look to those that you feel naturally emanate that peace and that serenity, what you are moving towards. Try and immerse yourself with individuals that have potentially moved into those elder years in the scheme of evolutionary
Consciousness.
yes. There are elders in young bodies. You're not always old body elders. There are great wise ones in very young bodies, and they're noticeable to those that have eyes to see. Yeah, these words cut through. Truth is always felt by all people. When it is spoken, it demands a presence. It intoxicates. It brings you in, no matter how hard you try to go the other way.
But I want to take my flute underwater.
No?
Can I take the mine with me?
Come, be there. Yeah. Don't try and figure it out, just receive it. Listen to what it's indicating and what it's pointing at. Yeah. Live in alignment with that spirit, and all will be well.